What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Beyond the Numbers podcast here. I appreciate you tuning into another episode. This episode was another really cool one. I had Patrick Belback. He is the owner of Complex Marketing Solutions here locally. So as you probably can tell by that, he is a marketing professional, marketing everything, kind of taking businesses and helping figuring out their marketing strategy, how to get them from point A to point B, and allow that marketing to help them have success on that track. Staying with him every step of the way. So it was super cool. He tells us a lot of cool tips and tricks, trends, kind of where marketing's at now, where he expects it to go, and just kind of how he got into it. So it was super cool hearing his story and how everything kind of started for him. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Super excited to keep bringing these to you and look forward to doing so. If nothing else, let's go ahead and jump right into this episode. I know marketing's been a big topic of conversation through the last, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years probably.
Especially more on the digital side now.
So social media plays a big part into this. Obviously, he does a ton of that, does a ton of business stuff, individual stuff. So kind of excited just to pick his brain and see where that's at. I appreciate you coming on today.
Thanks for having me on.
And we can kind of go ahead and dive in. So if you don't mind, just kind of tell us how you got into the whole deal.
Yeah, so I did a internship with Rod Wilt at Penn Northwest Development Corporation in Hermitage. That would have been my summer going into junior year of college. So started the internship. About halfway through, I was talking to one of the guys there, Gary, just kind of talking about how I wanted to kind of start my own business after school.
Right.
And then he was kind of like, why don't you just do it now?
Yeah.
So I kind of talked to Rod about it, and at the time he was just picking up on Core Power equipment in Pine Hill Golf Course.
Okay.
So those were kind of my first two clients, I guess you could say. That was kind of like the second half of my internship was doing the social media marketing for them, and then just kind of developed into a longer term relationship with Rod doing Pine Hill now, just strictly with him on Pine Hill, and then just started getting other clients around here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now that was your junior going into senior year.
That was sophomore going into junior
Sophomore going into junior year.
Yeah.
And then did you keep doing it after that? Was that something you stayed with through college?
Yep. I stuck with it all throughout college, and then ended up joining the golf team sophomore year. So I was trying to balance school, golf, and the business side. It was a lot, but it definitely helped me now because the workflow is so much more easy.
Because you're a local guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you were born and raised in Greenville.
Yep. Went to Reynolds.
Went to Reynolds. Okay. And then Teal.
Yep.
Was the alma mater, as you'd say, back in college. So no, that's cool. So Rod Wilt played a part in that. Is that somebody that you think kind of not mentored you, but kind of helped you get started in that space?
Yeah, he's definitely a huge mentor. He's someone I definitely look up to in the business space, just as work ethic and all he does for the community. So that's definitely someone I'd say is my mentor.
That's cool. Because it's always, it always seems like everybody starts somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And that's cool to hear, even in school. Right?
Yeah.
Your first couple clients are the people that started around with you, and that internship kind of led into something that you were like, hey, let me get my own thing started here.
Yeah.
Let's see what this goes into.
It was great.
That's pretty cool. So as far as, did you know then, was your internship specific to marketing?
Yeah, it wasn't social media marketing, but my role was basically getting sponsorships for the golf outing they have at the end of the year. So it was a lot of email marketing and cold calling. I wouldn't say cold calling, probably more like warm calling, because they were already
knew what was coming.
Yeah. Since it's the early thing, they kind of knew it was eventually going to hit their inbox. So
then once you do that, is that something coming out of college? Was that your original game plan?
So I knew coming out of college, I was definitely going to stick with the marketing. I just wasn't sure if it was going to be a side thing or something that eventually turned into full-time, but it ended up bringing them enough money where I could do it full-time, which was nice, especially living at home.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Gives you a little chance to really start your feet off right.
And
especially with mentors. I think that's a huge thing for a lot of the business side or marketing side of, kind of having somebody that knows what they're doing to start you off and point you in the right direction is important. To get your feet under you. So kind of, I got some questions here that just kind of came to mind about marketing. I don't know, if they're the right questions, but we'll kind of feed off them as we go. What's something from the business side or the consumer side that you think, what's the biggest misconception about marketing right now?
So on the business side, I would just say, I think a lot of people think it's just something that's super easy to do. You just make a few posts, run a few ads, and it's going to bring in a bunch of money. But I mean, it's all positioning, psychology, and building systems around the content and ads, not just kind of throwing them out there. And then consumer side, marketing's just there to trick people.
Right.
So
you think that's the misconception for consumers to be like, they're just trying to sell me something?
Yeah, pretty much. Which technically, I guess,
Right.
marketing, you are trying to sell something, but you want to have a good service
Right.
or product that backs
Right.
behind that. You don't want to just market something that you know that's going to have a ton of churn, pretty much. Like they're going to buy once and never buy again, or be on the service for 2 months and cancel on you. So
their way of showing whatever, and it's not always a product, right? It's
Yeah,
a lot
service.
of service. It can be really anything. I guess. Just whatever you're trying to get consumers to see of what either, I mean, I guess the word sales does come into it, of what you're trying to sell or what you're trying to offer.
Yeah.
Right. But if you're trying to put it out there the best that you can to show people, hey, here's what we're doing, and the only way for you to know about it is if we show you what we're doing.
yeah,
Right? So,
like it's there to help you make informed decisions faster and give you a lot of different options to see from.
Right. On the side of Complex Marketing Solutions, you're the owner of that. Where does that stand in the marketing side? I know it's kind of a loaded question as far as what's your end goal behind that with helping a business or helping an individual get their product or service out there?
Yeah, so as far as me helping businesses, it's always to get them more sales and more leads, but also I want to help them on the delivery side. Like, if we have some ads that come in and say, hey, they came, didn't do a very great job, I'm going to be like, hey, this could lead to some misconception on social media if they're commenting a bunch of stuff about you. And so just basically trying to have them have like a good public relations side of things on top of also getting them more jobs and more leads.
So really, kind of both sides of it then. You're kind of helping them shape their business in a way to say, hey, not that things are negative, but sometimes things come across as that salesy or that, you have a good product, but you're trying to push it on to somebody and they're like, whoa, but you're kind of taking those reins and showing them with proof, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's impossible to not have something negative happen. There's always going to be one or two people that get upset by something. So
And it's any more days with social media, it seems like that can happen a lot quicker than somebody that hears a word of mouth 3 weeks later, right?
Or like a billboard or something like that. Can't yell at a billboard, they're not going to.
Right. No, that's awesome. Kind of going still with your company, and like you said, your end goal is to get a business or an individual, whoever you're working with, more leads, more clients, more things sold, whatever that might look like. How is that usually tracked on your side? Or is that something they track, something you track? How does that kind of break down?
It's typically all tracked on our side. So typically if they don't already have a CRM, a client relations management system, they'll get access to the one we have through a sub account. And then through there, they'll get like a fully customized sales pipeline so they can see this person was messaged, they bought, and that's closed or something. Something along those lines.
So something they can see as well as something that you're also tracking on your side. That really breaks it down then, because I guess working with somebody like you, it's kind of why they're working with you.
They're going to want to see numbers eventually, and then I try to review at least 1 to 2 times a month with them, just kind of breaking down social media analytics, the ad analytics, all that stuff.
So now is it something that as it's tracked, are you guys tweaking stuff? Are you, because just trying for the people at home that might be having a business that are looking, hey, we need somebody or this is what we're looking to do. Kind of walk me through that process.
Yeah, so with ads specifically, you typically see ads start to churn. So the cost per lead starts to go up about a week of it running.
I got you.
That's when you just make minimal tweaks. It's something just changing up a few words in the caption or changing a color on the actual photo or just something along those lines. So when it's put back on their page, there's something different. They haven't seen the same ad 10 times.
So it's not, and I'm sure everybody that's going to watch this can say, you get that time you're on Facebook or you're on Instagram and it's like, oh, this again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You do run into that. Or somebody or a company, big name company posts a ton of stuff. And it's like every time you see it, you're like, man, we got to get, I'm just, scrolling past it or skipping past it, but you don't want to be that, right?
Yeah.
So there's definitely, and you being the professional on that side, I'm sure you have your tips and tricks on how you can kind of avoid that feeling for consumers, because that's obviously something that people are trying to avoid, I'm sure, on the business side, if you're trying to get somebody to buy something or whatever that looks like.
Yeah, and sometimes all it is just changing what you're offering, just switching up.
Right.
Like, say you have 2 products, you're running an ad on one, just run the ad on the other one, let the other one kind of naturally get sales. Or if it's a service, like on the roofing side, instead of just a base roofing installation, do like a gutter repair or something like that.
So on the marketing side, I know we've briefly talked before, just is it more of a numbers game, or is it more of a discipline thing that when it comes to being a successful marketing from a business, what do you think the biggest major keys to that are?
I would say it's relatively 50-50. Like,
Really?
you obviously want good numbers, but you're not going to get good numbers if you're not consistent with it.
Right.
And it's a lot of quality over quantity too. Like, if you stay consistent with quality, it's going to go well. But if you're consistent with poor quality stuff, it's just going to kind of lead to nothing. So it's,
because I think on both sides, we've heard both sides of it, right?
Yeah.
Some people will tell you that if you just post on Facebook and Instagram 45 times a week, eventually things will click. And I personally, I don't know if I've never been a believer of that. It's like,
no.
I understand the numbers game, but when it comes down to it, it's like, if you're not putting stuff in front of people that they want to see, it's not,
never going to find anyone.
It's probably going to annoy anybody more than anything,
Yeah.
right? So, I was just curious on, with your company, are you seeing that you're trying to play that 50-50 game?
Yeah. Definitely trying to put out more quality stuff rather than quantity. So with my service, it's typically 3 to 5 posts per week. I don't like going above that.
Yeah.
And because after 5, it just kind of, the returns are diminishing at that point. It's taking up too much of the client's time. It's taking up too much of our time, and they're not getting any more returns on it. So definitely quality over quantity, and then just tracking the numbers, making sure everything's good.
Yeah.
Everything's increasing. If we see a decrease in certain numbers, like for short-term videos, the numbers you want to look for are the retention rate and the skip rate.
Okay.
So you want the skip rate to be lower, and then the retention rate to be higher.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. On that, with the numbers or discipline, is with your company, are you seeing, is that something you guys can tell as far as we need to back down posts, but maybe need to get some newer stuff in there? How are you telling the difference between those things?
Yeah, like I said, just tracking that retention rate. If we see just a random week where the retention rate wasn't good, then
so you
that
can
type of content isn't working,
right.
Then we need to switch it up.
Right, I got you. But being able to see that, and obviously for a business that might want to work with you, right, that's big for them.
Yeah.
Because it's not something maybe they have the time or the effort or whatever that looks like, and that's kind of that offloading side of, hey, your job is to figure out what clients want to see or what prospects want to see, and getting in front of them the amount they want to see it. Right?
And when working with us, we want our clients to spend at most 1 to 3 hours a month making content.
That. Yeah, that's awesome.
It doesn't take up pretty much any of their time. It's relatively hands off.
Yeah. Now, do you come in and make content with them? Is that something?
Yeah. If they're local, I'll come in and film with them.
That's awesome.
So I have a few clients that are out of state, which makes it a little bit more tough.
Yep.
So I just kind of send them like 10 to 15 scripts.
Okay.
And they just film it in their house or at the office or something.
And then something that they just get to you, and you kind of...
I edit everything and get it scheduled in. So
So that's big. I mean, I think that's the biggest part of marketing, right? That's the biggest conversation for a lot of business owners of, I'm not spending 25 hours a week on this. I don't have time to sit there and 45 takes on a video and edit it down, and it's just, there's a lot more headache that comes with it. And I think that's what holds back a lot of people from doing marketing. Is the time. The time that it takes. Or they do, and this has kind of been the the other side of it, they go half in on it, right? And it's there's sporadic posts here and there every other month that somebody's like, I did see something from them a while ago, but I don't really know what it was. And that's easy to fall into if you don't have a plan or a guide to kind of go off of.
Yeah, and that's another thing with our company too, is you get a content calendar at the beginning of every month. We start planning the content pretty much a month ahead, and we want everything scheduled in by, I would say, the first week or so of the month.
really gets it down to a plan, then yeah, it makes it easy for them. On over the next 5 years, and I know things have and you might not have a specific answer for this, but I know things over the last probably since COVID, things have changed, right? Everybody went online, everybody worked from home, so obviously social media became a big thing.
Yeah, it was massive.
Yeah,
blow up.
Zoom calls, right? Everything became kind of different. I'm curious on your opinion on maybe some new trends, new ideas that come to mind for marketing that you might be taking in the future. And not that you have to share your secrets, if that's something that, I don't want anybody stealing any ideas, but just the way you think marketing is kind of going to go.
I mean, the huge trend obviously is the AI stuff coming out. So what we're seeing now is a lot of companies utilizing AI to make content. So the like AI videos you see online and stuff like that, and actually
which scary real.
Yeah.
At this point, I think we can all agree that AI has gotten weirdly real.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's real and fake anymore on Facebook and stuff.
And there's massive companies that are using it now. It's not just local companies; it's massive corporations that are incorporating AI. So I think that's going to be something that's massive.
Okay.
I don't see that happening within the next. Well, I don't know if I would say. I hope it doesn't happen for 5 years, but I could see it's developing very fast.
Right, something that people are using to. Yeah, it's definitely a slippery slope on that one, because I think there's good and bad to both. And I know we've talked recently. Just the good being how quickly things can happen, hands off. Right, you're just plugging look at ChatGPT. Right, you plug a little thing in there. Spit you out whatever you exactly wanted.
Yep. It's like Google on steroids, pretty much, because it's just pulling off all the information they have on the internet and giving it to you in one little paragraph.
Exactly. But what it does miss is that personal side, I think, and that's in my opinion. I think you can tell when something's AI.
Yeah.
In just the way of, not always, I guess, because I've watched videos and been sitting there for like 20 minutes after it. I'm like, I don't know if that was real or not.
Well, a big thing in the agency space now with marketing is these companies that are coming out and they're building what's called AI setters.
Okay.
So it's like, say for you guys, you obviously can't have someone attending the phone 24/7.
Right.
They'll bring in this setter, and it pretty much just handles anyone that calls after hours. So they're trying to book you guys appointments through that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a real voice? Is that like?
It's a real voice. Yeah.
Wow.
Like it kind of like it tries to interact like a human, pretty much.
That's weird. In a way, but that's like you said. I mean, that's what's coming, right?
Yeah.
And that's as hard as it is to. I'm not one for the change of it, and I think that was kind of going to lead into my next question of, kind of what's the. So what you do, obviously, right? You're hands on with the company.
Yeah.
Give me the pros and cons to what you do, and not that you have to compare it to AI.
Yeah.
But why do you feel like what you're doing is probably. And I think it's specific to our area, if I'm being honest. I think we really have a group of people here, and being in Greenville and probably the local areas of, I think a lot of people appreciate that hands-on experience and still.
It's a tight-knit community, and they want to meet you face to face. They want to talk to you. They want to interact with you on a daily basis rather than talking to some AI bot.
They don't want to call in and be like, I don't know if this is real or not. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. But on that side of it, how do you think AI will ever actually completely take over on the marketing side? Because like I said, I know we talked, and after we talked last time, you really opened my eyes. I don't think it can.
Yeah, I don't think it can, not within the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Maybe 10 to 15, 20 years, which I'm hoping by then I'm pretty much out of the game at that point. It wouldn't, because I don't want to deal with that. It's just.
Is that something? Yeah, I guess I didn't think of that side of it. Is that something that you would incorporate into kind of what you're doing at some stage if it came to it?
I think you kind of have to follow
what's going on.
Follow what's going on, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because if a lot of companies are seeing massive returns with AI agencies, then it's kind of like, I'm in a dying field at that point. I gotta switch it up.
Yeah. Because I just know that was, I kind of saved that one for the end.
That's what's happened with a lot of marketing agencies that were originally print and billboard agencies. They saw the boom of social media, mainly probably early 2010s, and then even more booming and with the COVID, that a lot of companies just completely switched to just strictly digital marketing, whether it's Google ads or social media.
Yeah. Which it's funny because just your industry, you know, in the industry that we're in here on the financial side, it's a very similar, you know, AI is a big thing in our space. Now we have a little different because of compliance.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot that goes into that. But at some stage, will there be a robot or something that can place trades, and I'm sure somebody can pay a fee to? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But on the same side of that, do you also want to call the robot and ask them, hey, how's my, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. And that's obviously, I guess, some of the audience that probably watching back, you know, 15, 20 years ago, they probably would have never thought we were where we are now.
Yeah.
So it's happened
very fast.
I mean, I don't know that I'm not old, but I remember watching, like, having still the slide phone. We didn't have iPhones weren't even a thing.
No.
Like, we were a part of that
Yeah.
transition.
Yeah.
And I mean, now
You
we're
had the little
basically-
iPod that didn't have
Exactly.
a touch screen.
And now we're holding something literally. I mean, AI has really made it. You can look at anything at any time, anywhere, do anything really. So it's it'll definitely be interesting to see where that goes on both sides.
And I think there will be companies that use it for good,
Yeah.
and then there will be companies that
That
use
will
it for
ruin
bad.
it. Yep, exactly.
It's with everything,
Yep.
unfortunately.
And it's the unfortunate side of it is it usually is a money game for everybody, right?
Oh, yeah.
And AI is probably going to be the part where it becomes the cheapest thing, and but again, not always the best service. And I think people will find that as the thing really gets down to it.
Yeah.
Of the personal touch is still, I think, still super important.
Yeah.
Especially
the personal touch will definitely still be around for
a
at
long
least
time.
20 years.
Yeah.
Where I'd say until our generation is out of the business.
Yeah. I agree, because I think we still have that. We still have that side growing up to where that's what it was. Now, the new generation,
The younger generations,
I don't know.
They might be okay with just talking to a robot.
They probably will, because that's God knows it seems to be okay. But no, we're kind of getting towards the end here, and not really. You know, we kind of hit the trends. We kind of hit this. This is kind of. I just kind of want to leave it open for you to let us know, you know, about Complex Marketing Solutions. If there's anything that you think is that we missed or people should know, and kind of who you work. I guess that was kind of the last thing I want to touch on. Who you work with. For everybody watching, and kind of how they can get a hold of you, and kind of your steps moving forward.
Yeah, so actually just kind of launched a new program inside the business. All my clients that I have now can opt into this, but so it's called the Small Business Social Launch.
Okay.
We're working with small businesses mainly, so
Perfect.
revenue targets usually around 100,000 to 5 million a year.
Yep.
And basically we want to turn social media into their main sales channel.
There you go.
So content marketing, and then social media ads on top of that, and then just trying to make, like I said, social media their main sales channel. So
nice. So how somebody that's watching this, they hear that and they're interested, kind of how do they get a hold of you? Just
they can reach out to me, phone call or text, 724-815-3738. Reach out to me on LinkedIn, Facebook. It's just Patrick Belback on all the social platforms. So.
And I'll be putting a slide on here I'll be sure to get all your stuff from you, and we'll do email, LinkedIn stuff, Facebook, or phone number and everything. So there will be a slide. If you guys have any questions for him, feel free to reach out. But this is your guy. I mean, if you're looking for especially on the small, with that new small business stuff, you know, I think he's a professional in it. Obviously, guys, as you can hear, as he's talking about it, he knows exactly what's going on in it and how to kind of up the sales and then figure out what everybody's looking for. So I appreciate you coming in and letting me pick your brain on it. I'm sure everybody watching this will find that very helpful, and then we'll be able to break it down a little bit and get some different content out to them. So I'll put some stuff together here, get this edited, get some contact information for him and myself on here. We'll get it posted, and then I'm sure you can share it around too and get it on your audience side, and we can kind of just get this spread out. But I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me on. It was a good time.
Appreciate you guys watching. Beyond the Numbers with Max Messett. I'm not sure when this will come out for sure, but hopefully here in the next couple of days or in the next week or so from this time it's recorded. And then we'll get you the next one here coming up in the future. Next year, I know we got some pretty cool plans for some podcast ideas and some marketing strategies on our end. So we will be hitting that hard, but I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch, and we'll catch you on the next one.